Same idea, we have radicals, we need to clear them. We want the radical alone on one side and everything else on the other, which is what we have right now. I'm going to square both sides. So I end up with 5y minus 4 is equal to y squared. Now I need to set this up so that I can solve it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these over here, but then sort of rewrite it on this side. Because I changed their sides, it's going to be negative. And since there's nothing left on the other side, it's equal to 0. And the reason I did this, I didn't want to move my y squared by itself because then I would have a negative y squared. I wanted my y squared to be positive. Now I can solve this two ways. I can factor it, or I could quadratic, but this will factor easily. I have y minus 4 times y minus 1 equals 0. So y minus 4 equals 0, y minus 1 equals 0. So y equals 4 or y equals 1. And I said or, but I need to see if either or both of these are going to work.
Only one has to work?
They might both work.
They both have to?
They could both work.
I mean, for your final answer.
Oh no, you check them both, and if one works, that's your answer. If the other one works, that's your answer. If they both work, your answer is two different.
Whatever
Yeah.
equates out, that's what you meant.
So this one worked. And then if I do 5 times 4 minus 4 is equal to 4, I get, so the square root of 16 equals 4. So that one also worked. So my answer would be 4, 1. That would be my solution set. They both worked. It's possible that one will work. It's possible that they'll both work. It's possible that neither one of them will work.
Does it matter what order they're in, or
Um,
does Alex want them numerical?
I usually put them numerical, or it shouldn't matter. Alex should take it. Yeah, either way.
There's a correct way and an Alex way. That's what.
This is the technical correct way. We put things in numerical or alphabetical.
Probably one there.
Yeah. Not always, though. Yeah.
He's pretty straight.
Here, I'm going to square both sides. By squaring this, I'm going to end up foiling it. And when I foil it out, or I'm going to use my shortcut, I squared this, I multiplied 2 times both of these, and then I squared that. So I need to set this equal to 0 so I can solve it. And then I'm going to move both of these over to the other side. So I'm going to get x squared plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. And again, I can use the quadratic formula, or I can factor it. So I get x equals -3, or x equals +2. If I,
Is it final on the paper?
yes, your final is paper. So I have 2 is equal to the square root of -27 plus 31. So 2 is equal to the square root of 4. That's good. So 3 worked. And 2 also worked.
You said you could factor or use the quadratic formula. What would you do?
Well, remember, your quadratic formula
So I'm trying to remember.
is sing it to the tune of Pop Goes the Weasel, or, remember the story? And this would be A, B, C.
Easier to factor in.
Sometimes they're not factorable, in which case you have to use the quadratic formula. Okay, last one. Gonna square both sides. And I get 3w plus 10, I don't want that in red. Get 3w plus 10 is equal to w squared. Or w squared minus 3w minus 10 is equal to 0. Factor this. So I get w is equal to 5, or w is equal to negative 2. Well, I can already tell that's going to work, because 15 plus 10 is 25, so that's good. And then so I have 6 plus 10, negative 6 plus 10, so that's 4. And I can take the square root of 4 and end up with a negative 2, right? Because negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. So this will also work. Well, when you take the square root of 4,
Yeah.
technically it's plus or minus 2.
Oh, yeah.
Positive 2 is the principal root. That's like the main, we usually just pick the positives, but it can be negative 2 because negative times a negative is a positive. So this does work. So the positive is the principal root. That's just usually the one we take, but it can be a negative as well.